2 points so far this year. Two-time second-team All-Big Ten selection. And he was a third-team All-American as a sophomore. Conrad's made a couple stops already for the Bulldogs. Here's Aquino. Gets his hands free, gives it up. Lehman crashing in, and Penn State's on the board.
Kyle Lehman, a fantastic lefty, and you just see the draw on the slide, and then Lehman's able to get his hands in, just running downhill with his hands free. Not much Conrad can do there. We're going to see another look at it right here. Running towards the net.
Full Saturday afternoon at Reese Stadium. Part of a lacrosse doubleheader today where the Yale men's and women's teams will both play Big Ten opponents. Rutgers will play against the Yale women's side later this afternoon. This is Will Peden, the senior from Downingtown, PA, and he scores! A rifle from Will Peden, his second of the year, and Penn State leads 2-0 with a couple flags down on the pitch.
Well, and you're going to see a pretty well-designed play here, a nice north-south dodge, and 47, Christian Johnson just has to try to get around that pick, and that push looks like going to wave that flag off. But we see Johnson, and then just that separation. Little miscommunication on the defensive end there. Johnson's got to stay with him, or there's got to be a switch.
So, as you said, Pat, a push was called on Yale's Konrad Miklaszewski. And we'll get our first look at the EMO for Penn State today. Their extra man unit operating 8 for 15 so far this year, which is second in the Big Ten, 9th in the country. Obviously a small sample size, but plus 50%. Chance to really take a big lead early in this one for the Nittany Lions. Ryan Duraco gives it up for Trainer up top. Quick shot, score! Hunter Aquino, and it's 3-0 Penn State here in New Haven. Timeout on the field, and a good start for the 9th-ranked team in America. Aquino rips it by Conrad, and Penn State is up 3.
Offense looking a little bit unsettled. Well, and here we see Chris Lyons.
Lions looking to make a play. Sharp, that was affected. A race to back it up, and I think Carson Kuhl was closer. It stays with Yale.
Great run out by both teams, but Yale, you see him slipping in the middle of the field. You see him kind of running in, kind of forcing Krevsky with that big ward before. So I know that there's the tendency to feel like, hey, we got to score now, but it's going to come. They just have to take their time and make it happen.
Brad Sharp again, whips it. Frassian got a piece, rebound, score! Cole cashes in, and Yale's on the board.
Right on cue, shoot hard, you hit the net, you get a little rebound that's going to bounce. A very opportunistic play. Cashian, just great hands there, being able to quickly scoop up that ground ball, or that bouncing ball, and put it away.
Cole Cashian gets his first goal this season. The sophomore out of Rumson, New Jersey, had 11 last year, and it's 3-1. And now we go back to the faceoffs where Mac Rodriguez has had his way so far. He's 4 for 4. This time, though, a violation on Yale, so Penn State will have the ball. Penn State's up 15% on faceoffs this year, and a lot of that is Baldwin by himself. He was 37.9% last year. Coming into today, 63.3%. That's why this team's ranked 9th in the country. Last year, they went to the NCAA tournament, lost in the first round. They're hoping to go further this year as Jack Amon, the Rutgers transfer, makes it 4-1.
Jack Amon with a sweet stroke. You see the dodge and just the quick feed over to him, but you saw those guys that are available that have some game experience.
Peden just kind of threw it up there. It got through to Mac Hobbs. His shot is a little hot. So that was a fortunate moment for the Nittany Lions, because that was a bit of a throw it up there and hope something good happens situation. Finn Scanlon for Trainer, who has an assist so far. 25 seconds for Penn State to work with. Ryan DeRocco gave it up, and Lehman scores again. Kyle Lehman, second of the quarter, and Penn State has raced out to a 5-1 lead.
Nice dodge from behind. Just getting a step, so there's a little bit of creation, of creating that space. And Lehman just does a good door, backdoor on Passan. First overtime, Yale had opportunities in overtime and then ended up losing it.
We saw that Final Four game. That was when Penn State was ranked #1 in the country, and Yale was the defending national champion. One of 2 Final Fours that Penn State has gotten to in program history. They also got there in 2023. Rodriguez back at the face-off X, but he loses this one to Baldwin. And Penn State, that has scored and on all but one of its possessions, is back with the ball.
And at that point, Yale had won 4 of 6 face-offs. Rodriguez doing what he's supposed to do, but not much to show for it. So we got to look at this Yale offense and say, what are you going to do? How are you going to create something? Who's going to finish? And that's the big challenge, or the big question for the rest of the day today.
Here's Hunter Aquino. Little give and go there. Amon, he scores. 6-1 Penn State.
Well, we talked about before not switching, and there a good switch, but Christian Johnson not able to get back
This year either.
He actually got his first run against Navy last week. He's a young guy.
Has not played, I guess, in the close games. Penn State's had some guys get in for limited minutes when they've been up a lot. This is going to be a shot clock violation. Penn State was not really aware of it. So a good stop for Yale, and let's see if they can get a goal and try and get back in this game. Leo Johnson is in for the first time. Johnson gives it up. Johnny Kibe, score! So Johnson in for the first time today, and he quickly creates something for the Elis.
The spark that Yale's looking for, get that ball, get it into your goal scorer's hands. Johnson, an elusive dodger, finds Kibe, who's cutting off the back door because he's drawing all that attention. That's what Yale needed in this moment.
Well, Leo Johnson did not have, he's just not had a lot of room to operate. Now it's Carson Cool. Johnson at X, now a senior here in New Haven. A multi-time All-Ivy League selection. Johnson, that's a really difficult play, and it'll stay with Yale, but once again, Pat, it's the 3rd or 4th time we've seen a Yale attackman slip when he's trying to make a move.
Trying to use that elusiveness and switching back and forth, but yeah, you're right, we've seen that a lot today.
Here is Gately. Yale has 17 seconds on the shot clock. Carson Cool going one-on-one, he scores! What a play by Carson Cool, and Yale's back within 3.
Carson Cool, a guy who, when you talk about taking an opportunity, last year took his opportunity, some injuries got him in playing attack, puts up 50 points, and there you see just a great, he gets a short stick matchup, and he's like, listen, I could beat Poles all last year.
0.4 seconds to go in the first quarter. Clean face-off win for Baldwin. He's on the run, gives it up, and Penn State gets that goal right back. A hat trick already for Kyle Lehman.
Great shot from Lehman, but you see that defense really has to worry about sliding to Baldwin because they know he's the threat to score. Tremendous athlete.
A look there at the Yale women's lacrosse team. High atop Cy Fieldhouse, ranked 4th in the country. They are 4-0 at the moment. And they will take on Rutgers later this afternoon, Pat, in what should be a good game. Matt Trainer gave that up for Penn State for Wallstrom. 7-3 Penn State lead in the early moments of the second quarter here. Andy Shea took that timeout on defense, and now Penn State's down to 13 seconds to shoot. Lehman already with 3 goals today. Double team, Miklashevsky picks him up. Aquino, Penn State's got to go, and they score! Jack Amon once again with 1 second on the shot clock.
Great ball movement from Penn State, seeing dodges coming across the field. And he just sees Amon with help is there, just getting a step away from him and not being able to get on him.
Well, Utate's Matt Trainer is the call, and Yale will have its second extra man opportunity today. They're 0 for 1. 30 seconds to work with here. Leo Johnson and Krevsky go back and forth. Gately, Sharp, and Lions, the others in the unit. It's Sharp, and he scores! What a rip from Brad Sharp, and Yale cashes in quickly.
Brad Sharp missed all of last year, and that tremendous outside shooting. Nobody steps him. He has just so much time there and can just fire it past Rassian.
Second of the year for Sharp. And the All-American has his 31st career goal, 54th.
And on that roll.
Another clean win on the faceoff for Baldwin. Gives it up quickly, and Lehman will pull it out. So after it was all Rodriguez to start on the faceoffs, as Penn State nearly had an issue here, it's now 8-5 Penn State on the faceoffs. Lehman's kind of found his way in this game. Last year, the starter was Chase Mullins, who's back as a senior for Penn State, but Baldwin, the sophomore out of White Plains, New York, has taken the job and run with it. Here's Jack Amon, defended by Johnson. And the wonderful afternoon for Hunter Aquino continues. Second goal, 6th point. And every time Yale has momentum, Penn State snuffs it out seemingly instantly.
Yale, you're seeing them sloughing into the middle.
And the Nittany Lions are up by 5.
And that's a frustration move on Christian Johnson's part. And it's, you just, at this point in the game, you cannot do that. You can't put your team down. It's probably going to be a minute for a cross check.
There's Hunter Aquino again. He's feeling confident right now. Lehman comes topside with it and scores! 4th of the day, and Penn State is rolling.
Defenseman draped all over him, and he's just gets that step above goal line extended. If the defenseman can shut the door and keep him from getting topside,
Gives Penn State a reset of the shot clock.
With 1 second left. And these defensive kind of lapses haunting Yale right now.
We're approaching 5 minutes to go in the first half. It was 7-3 Penn State after 1. Now 10-4. Ryan DeRocco takes a bump, gets in and scores. Ryan DeRocco, the Army transfer, gives Penn State a 7-goal lead. And Yale's going to make a change in goal, Pat, after this latest Penn State tally.
Hugh Conrad, you can't, I really don't know that I can fault him right there. They've really just slowed this offense down, not giving them the looks that they want.
This is Peter Moynihan. Low pass, Cashin couldn't corral it, so there is a turnover. Luke Scarpello here for Penn State. They go quickly, and Lehman scores his 5th.
Opportunistic lacrosse for Penn State. You're going to push in transition, and then you just get that defense moving, and Lehman loves that shot from right up top.
5th goal of the day for the sophomore out of Ambler, Pennsylvania. Had 6 coming in, 14 last year. And it's 12-4.
And Baldwin with the clean clamp.
Baldwin takes it all the way and scores!
We said before, he's a threat to go, and he's showing you he's a threat to go. Beautiful exit out. Stuzen getting a couple of checks on him. But you see 3 Yale defensemen right.
Man, where they have scored once today in 3 previous tries. 13-4 our score.
And you have to wonder how that impacts both teams here. Yale firing them up, but if things continue to stay with this with this big of a lead, do you start seeing the guys from Yale kind of play much more physical against the Penn State players?
Johnny Kibe thought about it. Now it's Lions. Kibe again rips it and scores. Barred down from Johnny Kibe. So Kibe gets Yale 1 back, 13-5, Penn State here in New Haven.
They're facing
run this season. So Yale back to the EMO. 2 goals for the man-up unit today for Andy Shea. Johnny Kibe up top for Sharp. Max Krevsky. Lions to the middle. Good catch by Kibe and a great save by Frassian. Stuck with him on a couple fakes. And this is going to stay with Yale as we get back towards even strength. Brad Sharp walks in, stopped by Frassian. Rebound loose, and they score! That's Will Sheehan. And Yale converts on the extra man for the 3rd time today.
That ball was up in the air for an awful long time, and Sheehan just making sure he's able to get that. A lot of people watching that ball, and Sheehan's able. Absolutely.
Will Peden splits the double, but Paquette with a great save. Tremendous goalkeeping on both sides now. 4 minutes gone in the 4th quarter. Gately the first year. Dangerous pass, got to Johnson. Leo Johnson going to work. Top side, and he scores! That is the Leo Johnson that Yale fans have come to know and love.
An elusive dodger. You see him. I think one of the things that when you ask what they have to do, there has to be more north-south dodging. He's not dodging on an angle. He's going straight up the field. And boom, just able to get past Frassian. Great dodge by Johnson there.
Leo Johnson. Johnson at X. Good pass in front. Shot backed up by Johnson. No reset. Lions! He hit the post. Reset the shot clock. But boy, what a chance there for Yale. Coaching staff all of them were out on the field, making sure every guy knew the shot clock reset there. Nine minutes to go. Leo Johnson comes to Kaib. Gately in front, Lions, he scores! Chris Lyons on the board, a three-point day for the senior.
Lyons, we talked about him, how he has historically been a guy who's able to get free in the middle and score. That was how he got his real start.
Lions led by 7 at the half. It's 5 right now. This is Duraco. 6 points today for Aquino, 5 goals for Lehman to lead the way.
And it really kind of seems like Penn State has gone into the slowdown mode of, hey, let's milk this clock.
Duraco, well defended here. Duraco, great pass, and they score. Liam Matthews got free.
Working through a minute of the shot clock, and then just that little quick slide, creating that one-on-one matchup inside or rolling back. Duraco.
Kent right now after their big win at the JMA Wireless Dome against Syracuse last week. Their head coach, Jerry Burns, said he is not going to call it the JMA Wireless Dome. It is still the Carrier Dome to him. He doesn't care what JMA Wireless has to say about that.
One of my favorite places to see a game. I think if you haven't seen a game there, it really is just an amazing environment. Lacrosse fans, you have to go to the Dome. You have to go to Homewood.
30 seconds for Yale to work with here out of the timeout. Carson Cool scores. Second of the day for Carson Cool. Just to tie the bow on that, the Yale women's team played in the NCAA quarterfinal last year up at the Dome, as you see the most recent goal from Carson Cool.
I'll tell you, I liked earlier in the game seeing Carson Cool with some of those looks from attack. He's just such a dynamic dodger.
Waymeyer on this face-off for Yale. And it makes no difference in the eyes of Penn State. They move quickly here, looking to add one more. And Ryan Duraco with an exclamation point.
Colby Baldwin, unbelievable. Just tremendous face-off, and you